I think my mic was muted. I apologize for that. Once again, thank you for coming on the Inside Sports with Rashad Mitchell, episode number 20, the final episode in the month of September. This is Inside Sports with Rashad Mitchell, episode number 20. Welcome from 9 p.m. to 10 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time, only on Elevation 52A Sports and Lifestyles, including streaming live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. It's YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. Let's get into it, man. I'm going to start with the college football. Last week, we kept the games that took place last week. But before I get into that, we got an NFL game going on. Start a new week in NFL, the National Football League, week number 4. And it's the Dallas Cowboys and New York Giants. Right now, the Cowboys are winning 7-6 in the second quarter with 11-11 to go in the first half. All right, so let's get into it, man. College football time. Start with that for last week. Have some interesting games. We're going to start with in week 4. I'm going to start with maybe the best game of last week, and that's Michigan versus USC. This is a very interesting matchup. And hold on for a second. Gotta change some things. I see something that's not good on at the bottom. All right. I had to get rid of that. So sorry about that. Anyway, like I said, last week we had USC versus Michigan. That was a great matchup. Live up to the hype. Usually these teams don't meet, but obviously they're gonna be meeting every single year. It looks like because obviously USC is in the Big Ten now, no longer in the Pac-12. So from that standpoint, that was a great game. Definitely up to the hype as Michigan won 27-24. Just took it back to the old school, just run the football, pound the rock. They did not rely that much on the running game. I mean, the passing game. Everything was about, just running it, passing it, not passing it, but just running, just pound the rock. And that's what they did. They ran for over 200 yards rushing. They was able to, get that done on the ground. And again, if it ain't broke, don't break it. If you run the football, you're doing that successfully. There's no need to like change, the concept of how to beat a team. And that's what they did. Um, the first 2 touchdowns that they scored, the goal of 14-0 was on running plays. Caleb, Khalil, I think it's Khalil Millings, 53-yard touchdown. Donovan Edwards ran for another touchdown, both 40 plus yards for a touchdown, 53 yards for Mullings, and Edwards had ran for a 41-yard touchdown. So they jumped ahead of USC at home, 14-0. But give credit to USC, they fought back. And he was able to take the lead actually with 7:01 to go in the fourth quarter. Jacoby Lane caught a 24-yard touchdown pass from Miller Moss. But give credit to Michigan, he was able to win it with 37 seconds left. Mullings scored his second touchdown of the game. And they was able to win the game 27-24. So it was a great football game. Mullins had 159 yards, rushing 2 touchdowns, 17 carries. Again, they stuck to the running game. That was the game plan they stuck with. It worked to perfection because they didn't need that much from a passing game perspective. But they can't win a national championship unless they have the quarterback do his thing. But Alex Orji only had 32 yards, passing, but they ran for 290 yards. Donovan Edwards had 74 yards rushing. Mullins had 159 yards. So they were so committed to the running game. Like they didn't need to have pass the ball. They was that successful. And almost 300 yards rushing. So that was a big time performance by Michigan, showing why they are the defending champions for that week from that perspective. So they was able to handle their business and win 27-24. Battle of 2 ranked teams. Number 18 versus number 11. Number 18 Michigan beat number 11 USC 27-24. Other notable games as far as upsets. Yeah, Northern Illinois, who upset Notre Dame a few weeks ago, got upset themselves, losing to Buffalo 23-20. Number 23 Northern Illinois got upset as Upton Belafant kicked a 37-yard field goal in overtime to knock off number 23 Northern Illinois. So they got a taste of their own medicine, being upset, being picked off. Now, obviously, Northern Illinois is not used to, being in the rankings of the top 25 in college football, but that win against University of Notre Dame led them to be in the top 25, and they was able to handle their business. But they got picked off and they lost. Top 25, and they was able to So from that perspective, that was a big upset right there. As far as them losing that game at home against Buffalo. Let's continue on with the other scores that took place. Okay, how about the Tennessee Volunteers, man? Tennessee back, or is Tennessee back to being, a relevant team again, a relevant program. They won 25-15. Welcome Oklahoma to the SEC. Obviously, Oklahoma's a SEC conference team now, but they lost Oklahoma to Tennessee 25-15. This game was not a close game. I mean, it was all dominated by Tennessee. It was up 22-3, so this was not a compelling, intriguing game, a classic game to watch. But it was a great welcome for Tennessee coach Josh Heupel because he played for Oklahoma and he won the national championship um, in 2000. Also, Oklahoma had fired him as offensive coordinator after the 2014 season. So you say he got revenge, got payback, who knows? But that was a big time win for the University of Tennessee, quality road win. And that's what it's about. As far as your schedule is concerned, you win on the road, you go in a hostile environment, and you win a game this magnitude 25-15 on the road in a hostile environment. Nico Hamaliva passed 194 yards, even though he didn't have to throw that much for many yards. Um, it had great balance, the running attack. Dylan Sampson had 92 yards and a touchdown, so he was committed to the running game. So it held Oklahoma's offense to 222 yards total offense. So they was able to do a great job against the offense of Oklahoma, holding them to 15 points. So that was a big time win, big time performance, a statement win against a quality opponent. So Tennessee will not play this week. They got a bye week. They'll come back from the bye week. They'll play at Arkansas October 5th. And meanwhile, Oklahoma will play at Auburn. So Oklahoma got to get used to this SEC schedule. It's not the Big 12. It's the SEC, probably the best conference in college football. Upset. You definitely had an upset with BYU. BYU upset Kansas State, blew them out 38-9. Kansas State was ranked number 13 in the country, so that's a big win, quality win for BYU. They're 4-0 right now. They forced 3 turnovers, had a 90-yard punt return for a touchdown. They did a thing. Jake Retzlaff had 149 yards. Parker Kingston had a 90-yard touchdown run, so he was able to do his thing. And as they won at home, 38-9, big time performance. That's how you do it. You want to get back into like contention. I don't know if they ranked this week, but that was a big time performance by University of BYU knocking off Kansas State. So that was definitely a big upset last week in college football. You see them do that at home, make a statement win against Kansas State. So that was a big time win. So those are games that stood out. USC, Michigan, obviously Tennessee versus Oklahoma. That was a big time game. Obviously, the Friday game last Friday was a good game. Went overtime as Illinois made a statement on the road against Nebraska, and they won 31-24 out in overtime. So that was a big time win. Battle two ranked teams, 24 versus number 22. That was a statement win for Illinois. Illinois hasn't been relevant in years, and for them to play a high level on the road and win was definitely a spectacular, performance by them, winning in overtime. So that was a quality game to tune in as a college football casual fan, and they was able to handle their business and win this matchup and come out on top. So that was a big time win for Illinois to win that game. That was on last Friday. Also, was notable games that stood out. Yeah, how about Missouri? Missouri had to hold on for dear life and beat the Vanderbilt 30-27 in double overtime. So they improved to 4-0. Blake Craig wasn't doing well for his field goals, but he's able to hit a field goal in double overtime to win it. He had missed 3 field goals, but he made up for it by hitting a 37-yard field goal in the second overtime. Meanwhile, Vanderbilt kicker Brock Taylor missed a 31-yarder to keep the game going. So Missouri narrowly escaped at home against Vanderbilt, winning 30-27. So that's a big win for them. Another game between two ranked opponents, you had Utah versus Oklahoma State. Oklahoma State won this game against Utah 22. Excuse me, Utah beat Oklahoma State, begging pardon, 22-19 on the road. So they improved to 4-0. Number 12, Utah proves to 4-0. Michael Bernard had 182 yards rushing. They were still a comeback. They got to a big lead. They was up 22-3 actually, but Alan Bowman was able to rally them back at quarterback and throw a touchdown to Rashad Owens for 9 yards. Went for two. Brendan Presley got a 2-point conversion. They cut 3 points, but all for naught. They fell short of Oklahoma State. They lost their first game of the season, losing to Utah 22-19. See what other notable games that took place. LSU beat UCLA 34-17. Not really surprised about that win. I don't think UCLA is that good. Let's see what else took place in college football last week that stood out. I think that's basically it. So let's get into picks of the week. How I do last week. I didn't do so well. I think I was 2-3 last week with the picks of the week. So overall, I'm 17-7 the picks of the week so far. Let's recap that. Okay, I had picked last week. Let's look into it. Recap that. I had Michigan losing to USC. I was wrong on that. I was right with Tennessee over Oklahoma. I was right about that. Miami beat South Florida last week, 50-15. I was right about that. So the only games I got right was Tennessee beating Oklahoma and Miami beating South Florida. The games I got wrong, USC over Michigan, I was wrong on that. Nebraska over Illinois, I was wrong on that. Oklahoma State and Utah over Utah, I was wrong on that. So I was 2-3. So overall, I am 17-7. Not bad. So let's get to week 5 of the games that's going to be played this week. Miami over Virginia Tech. I think that's going to be a big game for the Hurricanes. They're looking very good right now. Big win last week. But the thing about Miami is that they have not played anybody good. They've played a very soft schedule. They beat unachieving Florida Gator team. They beat Florida A&M, Ball State, and South Florida. But they haven't been tested. Now, tomorrow could be a big test. They play tomorrow on Friday night. I think Miami will win big. I think their offense is definitely exposed. You can make a case Cam Ward is the best quarterback in college football right now. He has 13 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. He's doing his thing. He's making it happen. And I think they have a true freshman, Jordan Lyles, who ran for a 91-yard touchdown, untouched against the South Florida last week. They very loaded at running back. Damian Martinez, uh, Mark Fletcher Jr. They very deep. They got some talented receivers on the outside. Restrepo, he's been there for a long time. You got Sam Brown, and you got Isaiah Horton and Elijah Arroyo. So they got a lot of weapons, but they're gonna be tested. They gotta be tested to see how really good they are. And I think the ACC is gonna prove whether Miami's on their way back. Because the thing about Miami is they've been in this conference for like 20 years. It's the 20th year. I think at least 20 years in this ACC, and they never won an ACC championship. When you look at the ACC overview, yes, Duke is playing well. I think they're like 4-0. I checked the conference standings. Uh, Pittsburgh's playing well. Clemson's playing good, even though after they lost to University of Georgia, they're playing pretty good football right now. But Miami, is this the year true that Miami breaks through? Their 20th year in the ACC. Can they really finally get over that hump and win a ACC championship game? You know what I'm saying? They got a lot of talent. Talent on defense pretty good. But can they get it done in the ACC? Tomorrow's game is very important. It's their season opener of the ACC. They're in the ACC right now. I think their non-conference schedule is over with because they beat Florida, Ball State, Florida A&M, and they beat South Florida. So that's 4 non-conference games. Now you're in conference play. What can Miami do in this ACC? Keep your eyes on that. If Miami's gonna be truly for real, they ranked number 7 in the country, but they played a soft schedule. Virginia Tech's not that great. They 2-2, but they are rivals going back to the Big East. Virginia Tech, when Frank Beamer was the coach, they had Michael Vick and stuff like that. They were very, very tough. They always gave Miami a tough time. You know what I'm saying? But we gotta see in the ACC what can they do in this ACC. So I got Miami over Virginia Tech. We'll break down that game and go over the ACC standings. I got Miami over Virginia Tech winning big. I think their offense, man, Cam Ward may be the front run for the Heisman. Look at his stat: 13 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, playing very well. Michigan over Minnesota. I got Michigan winning that game. Louisville against Notre Dame. Number 15 Louisville against number 16 Notre Dame. That game is a big time game. Louisville and Notre Dame. Kind of a make or break game, you know what I'm saying? Because they want to keep their playoff hopes alive, possibly. Ohio State over Michigan State. Now, obviously, got the big one, man. Georgia and Alabama, man. Obviously, these teams definitely have a lot of championship pedigree in recent years. Especially Georgia, obviously, winning 2 of the last 3 championships. But Georgia has a 42-game regular season winning streak on the line. They traveled to Tuscaloosa with a 28-game winning streak in the SEC. They won 28 straight. So now they're going to carry that into this game. But I got Georgia winning this game. I think Georgia is a better team, better roster. So I got those my picks of the week. I got Miami over Virginia Tech, Michigan over Minnesota, Louisville over Notre Dame, Ohio State over Michigan State, and Georgia over Alabama. But let's get back to the Miami Virginia Tech. Break that down. First one, let's get back to the update on the Giants, New York Giants and the Dallas Cowboys football game. Right now, the Cowboys are winning 14-6. 14-6. Giants got the ball 4th and 1 at their own 49-yard line, but the Cowboys lead by 8 points, 14-6. CeeDee Lamb caught a 55-yard touchdown pass with 9:16 to go to make it 14-6. So right now the Giants got the ball at the Dallas 48-yard line. 1st and 10, 5:39 to go in the first half. All right, let's get back to Miami Virginia Tech game. Look at the matchup. Keep your eyes on it with them. They play tomorrow to start off week number 5. Now, these two teams will be facing each other for the first time, obviously, this season. Obviously, the only one and only time. This is the first ACC matchup between these two teams. Virginia Tech is 2-2. Miami's 4-0. This game will be played 7:30 tomorrow on ESPN on Friday. Miami's favored by 19.5, and Miami leads the series 25-15. What you keep your eyes on is this is the ACC opener for both teams. They enter their 21st year in the conference. There was 20 years. Like obviously, they're wrong on that. It's 21st year in the conference. But again, yeah, that's the thing. That's being I thought it was 20 years. Do the math because I think they joined in 2004. They've been gotta be 20 years, but it said 21st year. But anyway, it's been a long time since Miami's been relevant in this ACC. They have a chance to open 5-0, move higher in the AP top 25, and Virginia Tech gets the opportunity to bounce back after losing to Rutgers a week ago. Now, key to this matchup, keep your eyes on obviously Cam Ward, the quarterback dynamo of the Miami Hurricanes, against the secondary of Virginia Tech. The Hokies have given up an average of 160 yards per game through the air so far. Cam Ward has thrown for at least 300 yards in each of Miami's first 4 games. He enters the week. Oh, he got 14 touchdown throws. I thought it was 13. My apologies. 14 touchdown throws so far this season. Got 14 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. So I thought it was 13. It's 14. Yeah, he may be the best quarterback in college football. You make a case. And when you lead the nation in touchdown passes, the last time that ever happened to a Hurricane quarterback. That a Hurricane quarterback, they have some great ones. Jim Kelly's, the Bernie Kosar's, the Vinny Testaverde's, Steve Walsh, Craig Erickson, Gino Torretta, Ken Dorsey. Did they ever lead the nation in touchdown passes? That used to be quarterback you once upon a time during the 80s and the early 90s. You know what I'm saying? You went to Miami as a quarterback playing that pro style offense, went back offensive system, especially under Dennis Erickson, Tulich. He was going to be a big time quarterback, chance to win the Heisman. I think this dude, Cam Ward, is a Heisman Trophy winner candidate where he's playing 14 touchdown passes already. For Virginia Tech, keep your eyes on running back Basal Tootin. He has 3 consecutive 100-yard games. So far, he's averaging 119 yards rushing per game in that span. He only needed 15 carries, and he ended up with 122 yards. So keep your eyes on Miami's defense trying to stop the running game. Look for Virginia Tech to try to pound that rock, pound that ball against the Miami defense, as far as run the ball. For Miami, keep your eyes on their defense. The blue group is playing well. They're doing this playing pretty solid defense without their defensive lineman Ruben Bain. I don't think he's back yet. He's near a return, so I don't think he's back yet. But when we look at this matchup in the ACC opener's lifetime, Virginia Tech is 15-5 with 4 straight wins. Meanwhile, Miami's struggled. They're at 500. They're 10-10 with 3 straight losses when it comes to ACC openers. That's why this game tomorrow is very important because it's a conference game. Miami has to prove that, okay, Miami's going to be back. They got to win this ACC. It's not the greatest of conferences, but that's what's been Brownie's problem. It's supposed to be, the 21st year in the ACC. I thought it was 20. I thought it was 20 years, but either way, Miami's never had any success for us winning the conference championship. They got a chance to do that. Let's see if they can do it. Meanwhile, Miami, um, they haven't had they have won 3 straight against the Hokies. They won 3 in a row. They haven't had a longer run of wins against Virginia Tech since going 12-0 to start the series from 1953 to 1994. Meanwhile, Virginia Tech will try to avoid a third straight consecutive 2-3 start. In 31 seasons between 1991 and 2021, Hokies were under 500 after 5 games only 3 times. Also, Miami has a chance to make history of becoming a 5-0 team if they win them or be 5-0 at the end of September for the first time ever in the program's history. Because the Hurricanes have played at least 5 games before October 1st on 6 other occasions, but they haven't been that successful for us, like starting 5-0. So they got a chance to start 5-0 for the first time in program history at the end of September. Also, Merry Cristobal, happy birthday to him. He had a birthday this past Tuesday. He's 54. He's seeking what would be the first 5-0 start in his career as a head coach in 13 years that he's been coaching, counting FIU and Oregon. So keep your eyes on that. What we want to do now is look at the ACC conference. Look at that landscape real quick. Maybe break down the Georgia Alabama game at length. See what I can research and find out. At the standings. Okay, so right now, as far as the ACC is concerned, let's look at the ACC. Right now, you have Louisville 3-0. Boston College is pretty good, 3-1. Virginia is 3-1. Clemson is 2-1. Stanford, remember, Stanford's in the ACC. They 2-1. Syracuse is 2-1. Georgia Tech is 3-2. Florida State finally won a game. They 1-3. They beat California. I think that score was 14-9. See what the final score was. Yeah, 14-9. They continue to struggle offensively, Florida State. I know what's going on with Florida State, man. That offense is so non-existent. I know what's going on with the offense. Now Duke is 4-0. Pittsburgh is 4-0. Miami's 4-0. North Carolina's 3-1. SMU is 3-1. Virginia Tech 2-2. California's 3-1. NC State 2-2. Wake Forest is 1-2. So I got some teams that are playing pretty good. Louisville, Boston College, Virginia, Clemson, Stanford, Syracuse. Uh, Georgia Tech is over 500, but you got Duke and Pittsburgh over 500. No, way over 500. They're 4-0. North Carolina is 3-1. SMU is 3-1. California is 3-1. So I got a lot of work to do to prove that they're back. They got to dominate this ACC. Simple as that. If they want to get back to being relevant again, yes, they're impressive with what they're doing. Yes, that's great. It's great that they're playing well offensively and defensively, both sides of the ball. But at the same time, they have to do all they can to make this team relevant by winning this ACC championship. That definitely qualify them as a playoff team. Obviously, remain in that top 12 playoff situation, but they still have to do a lot more than just what they've done with this schedule of the non-conference schedule. So that's the thing that stands out with the ACC. I want to take a look at that real quick. All right, let's see if we can look up information about Georgia versus Alabama. It was going to be a monumental game on Saturday night. Another game that's interesting to keep your eyes on is Penn State, number 9 team in the country, play at home against Illinois, who's number 19 in the country. Keep your eyes on that matchup. But the biggest game of the year so far is number 2 Georgia against number 4 Alabama. Georgia's favored by a point. It's going to be a very competitive game, obviously. Let's look into this game. Okay, Georgia's favored by 1.5 points. When we look at the series, Alabama leads the series 43-26-4. Now, what's at stake? Obviously, there appears to be a little margin for error with this very, top-heavy SEC. So the winner stays in great position. Obviously, with the 12-team playoff, it means both teams will remain squarely in the hunt, regardless of who wins or loses. But the Bulldogs would love to, get back to their dominant, play because again they barely beat Kentucky before. That was the last, game on the field against Kentucky. Won 13-12. They had the bye week. So now it's a true test for Kalen DeBoer. Without Nick Saban not being there, we're gonna see how he handles that spotlight in this showcase of a great team against a big time team. So Alabama is a big time team. Obviously Georgia is, but it's the first time Alabama has been a home underdog since 2007. That was the same as his first season. So the boys in his first season as the coach of the Alabama. So see how I handle that. Key matchup. Keep your eyes on Jalen Monroe, the quarterback of Alabama. He will be facing the nation's number 1 pass defense in Georgia. Monroe has passed 590 yards, 8 touchdowns without an interception for Alabama, and he's the third-rated passer in FBS. He faced a defense that is led by Malaki Starks, that is allowing just 91 yards, 91.3 yards a game through the air, having given up a passing touchdown. So Monroe is definitely a threat as far as running the ball. He has ran for already 6 touchdowns. Players to watch: obviously Carson Beck for Georgia, 16-1 as a starting quarterback for Georgia. He's 6-1 against top 20 teams. Alabama's the only team to beat him, but Beck has thrown for 1,971 yards, 15 touchdowns against just 2 interceptions in those ranked matchups. Keep your eyes on for Alabama. Keep your eyes on wide receiver Ryan Williams. He's only a freshman, 17 years old, but has already emerged as one of the best receivers in the SEC. But he has not faced a defense like this, obviously. His numbers impressive: 10 catches, 285 yards, 4 touchdowns his first 3 games of the season. He has led the team in receptions and yards in all 3 games. Kirby Smart, the Georgia coach, who was a protege of Saban and the Chris retired of Alabama defensive coordinator, is 1-5 against Alabama lifetime. Bulldogs lost on their only other trip to Tuscaloosa under Smart on October 17, 2020. The Bulldogs are the only FBS team that has not allowed a touchdown this season. I think that's gonna come to an end. I think Alabama will score a touchdown too. Our opponents have been limited to 6 field goals. Alabama is 15-1 in SEC home opener since 2007. A lone loss coming over 9 years ago against Mississippi. Also, this game will mark the Tide's 59th on ESPN's College Game Day, matching Ohio State for the most appearances. And offensive lineman of Georgia Tate Ratledge is listed as out on the SEC availability report, while Michael Williams is questionable. So that's it. But I got Georgia win this game. It's going to be a terrific matchup. Looking forward to it. It's going to be a great matchup. Right, so that's it for the college football landscape. Get some baseball. Excuse me, get some NFL. I apologize. NFL, National Football League. Speaking of National Football League, we got a game going on with the Giants and the Cowboys. Cowboys lead 14-6 right now. Fourth down and 8 at the Dallas 20. So Giants have to kick a field goal, looks like. And they do kick a field goal and they make it. Greg Joseph makes a 38-yard field goal to make it 14-9. So it's a much closer game. 106 to go in the second quarter. 14-9 Dallas. Let's look at the National Football League. Last Thursday, the Jets beat the Patriots 24-3. It looked very good, very sharp. Let's get to the Sunday games. Battle of unbeatens between the Chargers and the Steelers, where the Steelers won 20-10. The Steelers continue to play that strong, aggressive defense. Got a little something on offense going in this matchup. As Justin Fields threw for 245 yards, very efficient, 25 out of 32. 70 yards rushed by Harris. Austin III had 95 yards receiving and a touchdown. So big time win for the Steelers, who are 3-0, while Chargers loses, and now they're 2-1 in the battle of unbeatens last week. How about those Vikings, man? How about those Vikings, man? Look, the Vikings are looking for real, man. They look good. Winning 34-7 against the Houston Texans. They beat the 49ers last week, 23-17. Then they come back, win another big home game against the Texans, winning 34-7. Sam Darnold may be the league's MVP right now. Maybe playing the best quarterback play right now. Probably playing the best play at quarterback right now. 8 touchdowns. He has 2 interceptions. He's definitely been resurrected. This is a guy that had a lot of hype around him coming out of college, USC, drafted by the Jets, but the Jets let him go with the Carolina. Things didn't go work out there. Now then he went to 49ers. Now he's finally found a home, place where his skill set is being supplemented and everything's looking good. From an offensive standpoint, they're executing offensively with no issues. 4 touchdown passes against the Texas defense. Definitely outplayed C.J. Stroud. Career high 4 touchdown passes. He's red hot right now, doing his thing. Also defensively, Jonathan Greenard had 3 sacks. He sacked C.J. Stroud 3 times. So he's doing it with defense as well. Aaron Jones run the ball pretty good, 102 yards rushing. And this is a team that was a pick to fall into last place, pick to finish last. And that's the thing about this league, man, in NFL. Anything can happen at any time because you don't know who's going to be good from year to year. And you look at Sam Darnold, he's the number 3 overall pick in the 2018 draft. I mean, he's supposed to be the next great quarterback, one of the great quarterbacks, and now he's definitely revitalized his career, the career year so far. But there was a trendy pick for most of the experts. They were supposed to finish last. If you lose Kirk Cousins, use Danielle Hunter, I'm saying, stuff like that. Now they're looking good right now. They're sneaking up on people. Hasn't turned the ball over. He didn't turn the ball over in this game. 181 yards, 17 out of 28. So look at Sam's doing current numbers right now. Right now he has 8 touchdowns, which is number 1 in the NFL. Only 2 interceptions. So he's doing his thing, man. He's just playing excellent football. 8 touchdowns, 2 interceptions in the season. So that was a big time win by the Vikings. Eagles won a must-win game, 15-12. They're losing a tough one against the Then Falcons. Again, this is a very low scoring game, but Saquon Barkley is definitely playing very well. Two fourth quarter touchdowns, including what was a 65-yard touchdown run. A big throw by Jalen Hurts to the tight end, Goddard. Was a big play down the stretch of that game. 61 yards on third down and 16. Had 10 catches for 170 yards. Dallas Goddard. So that was a big time play, big time throw by Hurts as they won 15-12 against the Saints, who was riding high, blowing out the Cowboys, blowing out the Panthers, but it was held to 12 points. So great job by the defense of the Eagles. This was a shocker right here. The Buccaneers losing at home to the Broncos. That was a shocker to see this. Losing 26-7. They gave up 4 field goals. Bo Nix, the rookie quarterback, ran for a touchdown. This is a poor performance by the Buccaneers. Packers beat the Titans 30-14. No surprise here, as the Packers still without Jordan Love. Malik Willis is holding it down. They're 2-1, and actually they played the Vikings this week. I think they're at home against them. I'll double check. The Giants beat the Browns 21-15. Big time win for the Giants. And, Jones is playing well. Jones take care of the football, 2 touchdown passes. But Malik Neighbors is a guy that's making it happen. 2 touchdown catches. He definitely showing why was worth a top 10 draft pick. So he's doing his thing, making things happen. The Colts beat the Bears 21-16. This was a shocker. The Panthers beat the Raiders 36-22. Again, gotta bring your A game every week. Seattle beat the Dolphins 24-3. No surprise there. Again, the Dolphins not gonna do well. They don't have Tua Tagovailoa in that lineup. Sky Times is just not the answer. So they fall to 1-2. By Seahawks, who thought that they'll be 3-0. The Lions beat the Cardinals by a score of 20-13. Bounce back win for the Lions to losing a week ago to the Buccaneers at home. It was a great comeback by the Rams. They banged up, but they was able to win 27-24. Overcome a double-digit deficit. They were down 21-7 in the second half. They came right back, including 24-14. Came right back and won that game. Stafford played pretty good, solid 221 yards, a touchdown pass. Kyron Williams ran for 89 yards and 24 carries and a touchdown. He was able to win 27-24 over the 49ers. Finally, the Chiefs not playing that good football, but they find ways to win. They win in Atlanta on Sunday Night Football, 22-17. Mahomes threw 2 touchdown passes, but Travis Kelce's not getting it done. He's now up to the best of starts as a tight end. He's a great tight end, but he's not playing at his level. 4 catches, 30 yards. He's not big, an effective and an impactful player this year. When he has 8 catches for 69 yards. So he's not the Travis Kelce that we accustomed to seeing. He has not gotten it done. Rashid Rice, 12 catches, 110 yards, and a touchdown. So far, he has 24 catches for 288 yards receiving, which is our second. He's also first in receptions. Then you had the 2 Monday night games. The Bills, man, obviously they don't miss Stephon Diggs. And the thing about the Bills, they won 47-10. They're spreading the wealth. Josh Allen's just getting all the receivers involved. They're spreading the wealth. And sometimes you're better off without that one receiver. If you get other guys to buy in, make plays, and get the ball, distribute the ball to other guys, like Khalil Shakur, who had a touchdown, 72 yards receiving, 6 catches. Keon Coleman caught a 24-yard touchdown pass, stuff like that. They ran for 122 yards rushing. Allen had the most yards, 44 yards. He threw 4 touchdowns. In Jacksonville, man, I don't know what's going on with Trevor Lawrence. He definitely fallen with the face of the earth. I mean, they went to the playoffs a couple years ago, came back against the Chargers, then lose, a tough one to Kansas City. Thought, okay, here comes Jacksonville, their team of the future, and they've just fallen off the face of the earth. They don't know how to win games, especially you look at a quarterback like Trevor Lawrence. He cannot get the job done. He's a guy that continues to lose start after start after start. They're 0-3 right now. He's lost 8 straight starts dating back to last season. He has not won a starting game as a quarterback since 24-21 against Houston on November 26th. He's lost 8 straight starts, so he cannot win a game, let alone, you know, lead him to some success in succession. He's just not getting it done. So to me, Trevor Lawrence is looking like a disappointment, maybe a bust, maybe who knows. But right now, a lot of no soul searching for Jacksonville. But then you had the Washington Commanders, man. They're looking good. And maybe they finally got a quarterback in Washington and Jaden Daniels. Look at his numbers: 21 out of 23, 254 yards, 2 touchdowns. Very efficient on Monday Night Football. Uh, Bro did his best. Just the problem is they didn't have no defense to get it done. They couldn't stop um, Jaden Daniels. He ran for 39 yards and touchdown, two touchdowns as they won 38-33 as the Bengals fall now to 0-3. So let's look at that. Let's look at how I did the picks of the week. After I get to the baseball recap, the standings, the playoffs are coming soon. This is like the last week of the regular season. Then we got the playoffs coming up. Then read the memorable um, home runs in baseball history. Then get right into. I got a special segment tonight. This past week, September 24th, this past Tuesday was September 24th, the 30th anniversary of two great college football games, great moments in college football history. So look at the games from last week. How I do in week 3. See, I was 4-1. Giants over Browns. I was right about that. Ravens over the Cowboys. I was right about that. Yeah, I forgot to talk about that. The Ravens won a big game against the Cowboys. Again, Derrick Henry. This is why they got him to be the man that he needed to be. 25 carries. I think he had like 151 yards, a couple touchdowns. That's how you got to do it, man. They beat the Cowboys 28-25. The Eagles beat the Saints. I was right about that. Texans over the Vikings. I was right. I was wrong about that. But I was right about the Lions over the Cardinals. So I was 4-1. So overall, I am 10-5. Now I picked the Giants to beat the Cowboys tonight. I got the Eagles over the Buccaneers, the Jets over the Broncos, the Steelers over the Colts, and the 49ers over the Patriots. It's probably that I skipped over the Cowboys game. Yeah, 2025, the Ravens won that game. Again, big time performance by Derrick Henry. This is why you got him here to take the load off of Jackson, but Jackson don't have to run so much. He carried the ball 25 times, 151 yards, 2 touchdowns. That's why they got him. Let's look at this Cowboys Giants game. Game should be at halftime. Yeah, it's at halftime, 14-9 Dallas lead. So that game's still in the balance, still up in the air. All right, let's get some baseball. Baseball season's winding down, man. The season's winding down. This is it. Big news in baseball is that the Mets and the Atlanta Braves, they dealing with this weather. I think it has something to do with the hurricane. So they postponed the Mets Braves series to Monday, mid of the playoff run. So they're gonna play a double header on Monday. That should be the end of the regular season. Then you got the wild card that starts on Tuesday, October 1st. So this is it, man. See if the Mets can get in or Atlanta gonna get in as a, in the postseason. So they everything's hangs in the balance between those two teams. Um, Obviously the Yankees are in the postseason. Baltimore is in the postseason. They're in. They're in the postseason of the American League East. Boston, Tampa Bay, Toronto's eliminated. Uh, Cleveland clinched their division. Houston clinched the division. There's no surprise because Houston is used to being really good. But they're gonna be back in the mix, so they're division champions of the American League West. National League, Philly clinched their division. Milwaukee clinched their division. The Padres are in the playoffs. Obviously, Dodgers in the playoffs. So let's look at the wild card. American League. Baltimore is already in. So I guess, yeah, Detroit, Kansas City, Minnesota got a chance to get in. Especially Kansas City, Detroit. They got the same record, 85 and 74. Then the National League, is right there. The Mets got a shot. Arizona, Atlanta got a shot to get in the wild card. So it's winding down. So that's the storyline with the baseball. All right, let's get into excerpts from the 101 memorable baseball home runs in baseball history. Book excerpts and resume with number 40. Maybe a couple chapters, and that'll be it. Quickly move into my 30th anniversary of September 24th, 1994 in college football history. We'll get to that shortly. All right, let's get into it. Resume with number 40. George Brett. Now, this is a memorable game. This is the Pine Tar home run that was called back because of the Pine Tar. Um, it was on July 24th, 1983, and George Brett was a great player. He played outstanding during his career, outstanding career. So he hits a home run. He was like a two-run home run because they was trailing 4-3. UL Washington was on first base, so Brett had to play and hit a home run over Goose Gossage, the reliever pitcher for the Yankees, and they were up 5-4. But the issue was they were pine tar on the bat, and one of the crazy, like expressions after something happens, whenever something bad happens, you think it's a bad call. Him coming out the dugout, George Brett, man, he went berserk, went crazy. He got that pine tar home run got linked together. You know what I'm saying? Pine tar on the bat that was called back. The Yankees won 4-3 instead of 5-4. So they investigated the bat. Umpire looked at it. Uh, Billy Martin, the manager at the time, had protests against that, but try to get the attention of the umpire, Tim McClellan. So the rest of the staff looked at it and they called him out. They felt that Brett was using a legal bat and he went berserk, wide eyed off the bench, charged after the umpire like a crazy animal, man, just going crazy. So that's number 40. I'm not surprised by that. Number 39, Ken Boyer of the Cardinals. This is in the World Series against the Yankees. So after the 1964 World Series, Ken Boyer was voted the National League Most Valuable Player. He played all 162 games. Kept Cardinals in the pennant race, hit 350 in May, 342 in July, 405 games in September. Anyway, let's get to this moment, why he's on this list. Okay, he had a grand slam in the World Series, giving the Cardinals a 4-3 lead in one of these games. Because that was a big one because that tied the series up at 2-2 instead of it being 3-1. It was tied at 2-2. because that home run that he hit. So he turned on a high changeup that was thrown by Al Downing. So this was like game 4. So that's it for that. Right, number 38, Rick Monday, a homer for the red, white, and blue. He's in the 1981 strikes for the season. This was against the Phillies. See, yeah, he played with the he was the Dodgers. Yeah, Dodgers versus Montreal. It's on a Monday. He hit a hanging sinker for a home run over the center field wall at Montreal Olympic Stadium to send the Dodgers to the World Series. It was known as Blue Monday. That's why he's on this list. Okay, number 37. I'm gonna stop here and move on. I'm gonna have to go over. I'm gonna try not to, but let's see. Try to end at 10 o'clock. Number 37, David Justice. This one he's with the Atlanta Braves. It was Game 6 of the 1995 World Series. So what happened was in Game 6 World Series, the 1995 World Series, he hits a home run, a solo home run, as they won the World Series. That's what he did. David Justice. That's why he's on the list. Because the home run that he hit. Because at the time, he was getting booed for a reason. Because he wasn't playing well, whatever it is, but he was getting booed. That's why it's on the list, Scott, because of that home run he hit in Atlanta against the Cleveland Indians. All right, so that's it, man. I'm gonna be done with that. Be done with number 36 next week, October. All right, let's quickly get to September 24th, man, 1995. Excuse me, September 24th, 1994, 30 years ago. In college football history, you had Michigan versus Colorado. That was known as the game where Kordell Stewart threw the Hail Mary to Michael Westbrook. That was a great, memorable day in college football. Also, you had um, Miami Hurricanes at the time used to play at the old Orange Bowl. They had a 58 game winning streak at home. That was the longest in NCAA history, in college football history, 58 straight. And it ended up losing that streak to Washington. Washington, Miami had history for its winning and sharing the national championship at that time. And Miami lost 38 to 20 at the Orange Bowl, where Miami had not lost a home game, get this, since 1985. September 7th, 1985 against the Florida Gators. 35-20 was it 35-23. That game, that day was a great day in college football, memorable day. Because you had the Hail Mary catch by Michael Westbrook for Colorado to win 27-26. And then you had Miami Hurricanes lose their, you know, 58 game winning streak. That's still the longest 30 years later. That's still the longest home winning streak ever in college football history. Nobody's come close to breaking it. That's why I want to talk about that. So that those two games that was memorable on that day. That's very important for us college football history. So I want to talk about that 30th anniversary of those two games. All right, time is winding up. Yeah, that was the miracle at Michigan. Kordell Stewart threw a 64-yard Hail Mary pass to Michael Westbrook, the second touchdown by the Buffaloes in the last 2 minutes and 16 seconds. And the game was described as one of the two wildest finishes in Michigan football history. Between Colorado, at the time, Michigan was number 4 in the country, and Colorado was number 7 in the country. Michigan had players like Tyler Law was on that team, Amani Toomer. That was just a big time game. And the play was called Rocket Left. It was called by Bill McCartney, the Colorado coach. And again, worked to perfection. Keith Jackson did the game. That was just a memorable football game. Miracle at Michigan. That's what it's known as. Get that roster. You had Tim Yakubatuka, Mike Toomer, Tyron Wheatley was on the team. That was a talented team. Ty Law, NFL players on the team. You look at Colorado, Buffalo, you had Kordell Stewart, obviously, Michael Westbrook, Sean Salam actually won the Heisman that year. I believe he won the Heisman. He won the Heisman Trophy Award. So that team was a big time team, the Colorado Buffaloes. They finished 11-1. A lot of talent on the team. Kordell Stewart, Michael Westbrook, Corey Detmer, Rashawn Salam, Ray Caruth, Christian Fourier, Ted Johnson. They're deep. They're a big time team. Then the other game, like I said, Miami having their 58 game home winning streak snapped at the Orange Bowl, the old Orange Bowl. They don't play there no more. That was huge. 1994. It was known as the Whammy in Miami. Yep. On September 24th, that same day, Westbrook caught that Hail Mary pass that ended up on the cover of Sports Illustrated, I believe. It was known as the Whammy in Miami because it was supposed to be 59 straight for Miami, but it ended up not the case. They lose 38-20. Miami was ranked number 6 in the country. They lose to Washington, number 17 team in the country. They ended Miami's 58 game home field winning streak. It's still the longest in college football history. It was known as the Whammy in Miami. 38-20, September 24th, 1994. So that was a great, memorable day in sports history. You talk about that kind of game like that. Yeah, he was on the cover of the catch. Colorado's Hail Mary touchdown shocks Michigan. That was huge. It's been 8 years, 11 months, and 2 weeks of winning 58 straight games. From Benny Testaverde to Steve Walsh and Michael Barrow. And that was an incredible streak that Miami had at the time. Incredible. Because Miami wasn't losing at that time. They were just a dominant team at home. And that was just an interesting matchup. How they lost the streak. That Miami team had Warren Sapp. I mean, they had, Ray Lewis on defense. Frank Casas was a very inconsistent quarterback. Had like Until Green, who should have been a great, wide receiver at that time, but he didn't live up to the hype, at the next level. But that Jamie German, I mean, that team was loaded. AC Tellison, It was one of the saddest days in Hurricane football lore, known as the Whammy in Miami. That's what it's known as. All right, so that's it for that. I just want to take a look back at that time. Right, let's get into quickly before I close out on this day in sports history for September 26th. Let's get into it. I can read everything that happened on this day in sports history. We're gonna start with 1906. Pitch lefty Leafield pitched a no hitter against the Phillies, 8-0 in 6 innings. In 1908, Chicago Cubs Ed Lubach becomes only pitcher to throw a doubleheader shutout, winning 3-0, 5-0 over the Superbs at Washington Park in Brooklyn, New York. 1921, Babe Ruth hits 57 58 home runs to beat 57 58 home runs to beat Indians 8-7. In 1926, the shortest doubleheader was Yankees losing 6-1 in 72 minutes and lose again 6-2 in 55 minutes. The Browns Yankees had already clinched the pennant. Happy Chandler in 1947. That happened in 1926 with the doubleheader. 1947 on September 26th, Happy Chandler announced that Ford and Gillette was to sponsor the World Series. Boston Braves on 1948, September 26th, won the first National League Championship since 1914. 1953, shortstop Billy Hunter smashed his final home run in St. Louis Browns history during a 6-3 loss to Chicago White Sox at Busch Stadium. Franchise moves to Baltimore next season. 1954, the A's defeat the Yankees 8-6 last game franchise will play in Philadelphia. They was on the Philadelphia Athletics. 1954, September 26, Yogi Berra plays his only game at third base. Mickey Mantle plays shortstop. Warren Spahn, Milwaukee Braves, 1959, September 26, became the winningest National League lefty. September 26, 1961, New York Yankees outfielder Roger Maris hit his 60th home run over Jack Fisher, tying Babe Ruth's record. 1962, September 26, Murray Wells, Los Angeles Dodgers shortstop, became the first player in Major League Baseball history to steal 100 bases and drop to 104. Jim Palmer, 1971, on September 26th, was the fourth Oriole to win at least 20 games during that season. In 1973, Wilt Chamberlain signed with the ABA San Diego Conquistadors. 1975, September 26th, Phillies and New York Mets play a doubleheader that ends at 3:15 a.m. in the morning. 1976, September 26th, Phillies clinched their first National League East Division title. 1977, Cleveland Browns played their first overtime game against the Patriots, beating them 30-27. 1978, September 26th, New York District Court Judge Constance Baker Motley ruled that women's sports writers cannot be banned from locker rooms. 1979, September 26th, 1984, summer LA Olympic coverage was sold to ABC for $225 million. September 26, 1981, Nolan Ryan, Houston Astros pitcher at the time, Nolan Ryan, threw his fifth career no-hitter in a 5-0 win over Los Angeles Dodgers at the Astrodome. September 26, 1983, Ali Haji Sheikh kicked a 56-yard field goal, was a New York Giants record at the time. 1983, Bob Forsch, the Cardinals, pitched his second career no-hitter, beating the Montreal Expos 3-0 in St. Louis. 1987, September 26, Padres Benito Santiago set a rookie hitting streak record of 28 consecutive hits in 28 consecutive games. That was a rookie hitting streak. What else is here? 1996, Barry Bonds of San Francisco Giants at the time, 1996 on September 26, was the second Major League Baseball player to hit 40 home runs and steal 40 bases in a season. Ken Griffey Jr., 1997, of the Seattle Mariners, hit his 56th home run in 1997. And that's it for some of the events that took place on September 26th on this day in sports history. Right, my time is up. Give you a quick update of what's going on with the Cowboys and Giants. The game should be in the second half right now. Third quarter should be underway. Look at the score and update. close out over 10 o'clock. So, all right, it's 14-9. Giants got the ball at the Dallas Cowboy 8-yard line. It's facing the third and goal. So it looks like they're trying to go ahead in this game. There was a timeout call. So you're facing the third and goal at the Dallas 8-yard line. They're on a 9-play, 72-yard drive, the Giants. With 9:39 to go in the third quarter. So you're trying to go ahead. If not, they got to kick another field goal. All right, so it's fourth and goal. So the drive going to stall and they kick another field goal. All right, so that's it. My time is up for the 20th episode, man, of Inside Sports with Rashad Mitchell. It's been a great time. Episode number 20 already. So at the episode number 20 milestone on Elevation 52 Sports and Lifestyles, man, it's great. So it's great, milestone. Hopefully, I have many more moving forward. And streaming live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. Streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. So that concludes the show. The final episode in the month of September will be back next week in October for another episode of Inside Sports with Rashad Mitchell on this platform. I think those who have tuned in also check out the article this recently was posted on E5280sports.com. You can check out a new article, especially, did something on the NFL and college football. Check that out if you're interested. Support the article that I do because I write articles also so do a show. So do a lot of multitasking, just two different things. So you can check out the website E5280sports.com. Check it out. A new article that was posted recently about the NFL, the week that was, what took place in the NFL, what took place in college football. Just a recap, what took place, and hope you enjoy that the article and you'll get a chance to support. So that's it for the show, man, for the day. The time is up. I obviously went over 10 o'clock. Usually the show comes on from 9 to 10, but I went over. I had a lot to cover. So, like I said, check out the article, the week that was, college football week 3 and NFL week 2, the overview of college football week 4, NFL week 3. Take it from there. So check it out on that platform. The article is up. So check it out when you get a chance. So that's it for the show for the night. Episode number 20 of Inside Sports with Rashad Mitchell. This comes out every single Thursday night from 9 p.m. to 10 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're on Elevation 5280 Sports and Lifestyles. Streaming live on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. Until then, talk to you next time, next Thursday night. Until then, have a good night.